For my business class, I have decided to do the types of business ownerships. A sole proprietor is a business that is owned and operated by one person. Your Walmart, JCPenney, and Procter & Gamble started out as a small sole proprietorship and eventually expanded their business. Sole proprietorships account for 72% of country's business firms. I'm very common with clothing boutiques. They are definitely a big sole proprietorship here where I live. Some advantages of a sole proprietorship are the ease of startup and closure. It is the simplest way to start up a business. It's limited to certain registration requirements and obtaining any necessary license or permits. That's the cheapest way to form a business. Retention of all profits. All revenue goes directly to the owner of the business after expenses. They do not have to worry about hiring or paying employees if they do not want to. Some more advantages would be no special taxes. Profits are taxed as personal income of the owner. This can result in having to pay in taxes, as most individuals do from not paying in enough throughout the year. You also have the flexibility of being your own boss. You're free to make decisions as they please. You can schedule business hours at your convenience, so you don't have to worry about having to go through any special checkoffs to make sure that you can take time off for Christmas or any other holiday or whatever it may be that you want to be off for. Some disadvantages of a sole proprietorship would be unlimited liability. If the business fails or the business is involved in a lawsuit, the owner's personal property, such as savings or other assets, can be seized to pay creditors. There is no difference in debts of the owner of the business and debts of the business. If you were in an accident, your business may be part of what you have to use if you were sued. Lack of continuity would be if the owner retires, dies, or legally declares incompetent, then the business ceases to exist. An example, if the owner has a stroke, there is often nobody who can help step in and manage the business. The sole proprietor is the main manager of the business. They run it all by themselves usually. Some disadvantages also would be lack of money. Banks and other lenders are often unwilling to lend large amounts of money to sole proprietorships. To get a loan with your bank, it is usually hard because if you have a mortgage or other personal loan, your assets are already usually tied in with those other loans. The security assets are usually already limited from being used as collateral for personal borrowing. That also exists, as what I was just saying. The bank definitely wants to make sure it is repaid. Limited management skills can come from you having to do all of the work. So if you are the only person working, then you're usually going to have to do the janitorial duties, the paperwork, everything there is included in a business. It's sometimes difficult hiring employees because you cannot afford to hire a bunch of help, and potential employees may feel there is no room for growth in the long run. Partnerships is when two or more people act as co-owners of a business for profit. You typically want to choose someone with potential, and usually not a good idea to do a partnership with a close friend unless you know a lot about them. The two types of partnerships are general partners and limited partners. A general partner is a person who assumes full or shared responsibility for operating a business. They are there to run the business every day, usually. A limited partner is someone with hopes of a successful business that wants to be a part of it with no management responsibility. Special rules apply to limited partnerships. More advantages of a partnership would be ease of startup. They're very easy to form. That's similar to a sole proprietorship also. The availability of capital and credit. Two or more people with finances and capital is usually better than one person. Personal interest is when the business is successful, they usually work harder and show pride. More advantages would be combined business skills and knowledge. One partner's weakness could be the other person's strength, so working together to strengthen or specialize their skills. Retention of profits. All profits belong to the owners of the business. Capital is split upon the owners of the business. And no special taxes. A partnership pays no income tax, so it's going to be taxed similar to a sole proprietorship. Some disadvantages of a partnership could be unlimited liability. Each partner is legally and personally responsible for the debts, taxes, and actions of any other partner conducting partnership business, even if that partner did not incur those debts or do anything wrong. It is usually a good idea to agree on things together before making decisions. Some disadvantages could also definitely be management disagreements. Several factors can cause disagreements between the partners of the business. So basically what happens if an owner wants to withdraw more money from the business after a large withdrawal has already been made. That can definitely be something for them to think about. They need to sit down and talk about it because that can definitely cause a disagreement. More disadvantages will be lack of continuity. Partnerships are terminated if any one of the general partners dies or withdraws. So one upset person can withdraw from the business, causing it to terminate. Frozen investments is also another disadvantage. Partnership agreement should include procedures for buying out a partner, because basically it may be easy to invest money into a partnership, but it can be quite hard to get out. A corporation is an artificial person created by law with most of the legal rights of a real person. The shares of ownership of a corporation is their stock as well. McDonald's and other franchises are usually corporations. Publix is a big corporation with large stock. I'm very common with that. Some advantages of a corporation would be the limited liability. This is one of the most attractive features of a corporation. A corporation is a legal person separate from its owners. If the corporation fails, creditors are only allowed to claim corporation assets, not your personal assets. The ease of raising capital. Capital is raised by selling stock. Stock is usually a fast way to grow capital also. The ease of transfer of ownership. Willing buyers are usually available for most stocks at the current market price. Usually easy to get rid of stock if it's at a good market price. More advantages would be perpetual life. The withdrawal, death, or incompetence of an executive or owner does not cause the corporation to be terminated. That is definitely opposite from a partnership. Specialized management would be corporations in high demand pay higher salaries and offer excellent employee benefits. It's usually easy to find employees to work for corporations when they offer good benefits, and the pay is definitely higher than most places. The disadvantages of a corporation would be the difficulty and expensive formation. Forming a corporation can be fairly complex and pricey after all of the fees that are needed to get the corporation up and going. Government regulation and increased paperwork. To prepare necessary reports, corporations need the help of an attorney, CPA, and other professionals on a regular basis. Those services tend to be very pricey. More disadvantages will be conflict within the corporation. Sometimes pressure from operating in a competitive industry is definitely from like pressure to increase sales, revenue, reduce expenses, and other things can cause stress. Double taxation. Corporation must pay a tax on their profit, as well as stockholders must pay a personal income tax on any dividends received. This can definitely cause second thoughts on opening up a corporation. The lack of secrecy would also be another disadvantage. Every public corporation has to share some of its secrets about its management, finances, and other business activities with its competitors. Working in a competitive field can also cause stress. Sharing secrets can expand more ideas or cause competition to rise. This is just a list of my references. I hope you enjoy my video.